Hello, and welcome to Inside Greater Omaha. I'm Heath Mello, President and CEO of the Greater Omaha Chamber, and we're excited to bring you a new kind of conversation about our region. One that goes beyond the headlines and gets to the partnerships, people, and ideas shaping what comes next. Because when you look at Greater Omaha today, you see a region that is growing, evolving, and competing at a high level. We know that kind of momentum is built intentionally through leadership, collaboration, and a shared commitment to something bigger than any one organization or industry. That is what this series is about. Every episode, we're going to sit down with leaders from across the region to explore how decisions are made, how partnerships come together, and how we continue to move this region forward. These are conversations about the real work happening behind the scenes to position Greater Omaha for long-term success. So thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy a look inside Greater Omaha. We're going to start with one of the most recognizable and impactful events in our region and in the country. Our guest today is Amy Hornocker, Executive Director of the College World Series of Omaha, Inc. And we're excited to have in our inaugural Inside Greater Omaha podcast our special guest, Amy Hornocker, the Executive Director of CWS Omaha, Inc. Amy, glad to have you on our inaugural episode.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Well, for a lot of folks who know about the Greater Omaha region, the College World Series is synonymous with Omaha. And you have had a really storied career in terms of the sports industry, working at the Omaha Sports Commission, engaging and helping run the swim trials when it was in Omaha, and then going to CWS Omaha, Inc. in a number of roles, and more recently, a few years ago, taking over as the executive director.
Yeah.
Walk us through a little bit in terms of kind of your journey, personal journey, and kind of how the sports industry you've seen in the Omaha region change maybe over the last decade or so.
For sure. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm coming up on almost 20 years of working sports in Omaha. So, and like my history was I was like a baseball manager. I grew up over in Des Moines.
Okay.
And so we play summer baseball in Iowa. So I came to the College World Series for the first time in, I'll date myself, 1998 with our baseball team. We were playing in Sioux City and came down. So I sat in the bleachers at Rosenblatt, and it was just something that kind of stuck with me. The event did. I went on to get a sports management degree from Iowa State. So I worked in the football office there, and then I needed an internship to graduate. So my sister was here, so I had a free place to live. And so I came back to CWS as an intern, and then just continued my sports career here. Yeah, as you mentioned, I was with the Sports Commission for 10 years. Had the chance to do 3 Olympic trials and about 30 other different events before I went back to the staff at CWS. So just really lucky to be a part of so many great things. We have the city is set up perfectly for sports with the airport and then the facilities downtown and hotels. So it's great.
Walk folks through maybe a little bit who people go to the College World Series, they experience the amazing atmosphere in the games, but people may not know a lot about CWS Omaha, Inc. in terms of the organization that you run, the massive amount of work that's being done to put on the greatest show on dirt every year. Walk us through a little bit more in terms of your organization and the role it plays in the Greater Omaha region.
Yeah, so a lot of people are surprised when we say we have 5 staff members working on the ground in Omaha year round. So we have 27 on the internal team at the NCAA office in Indianapolis, and they'll come in for the event. But yeah, it's a big undertaking, and we're very unique. So the NCAA has some long-term championships elsewhere. The Women's College World Series is in Oklahoma City, but they don't have an entity like ours. Okay. So we are kind of, I always say like the middleman between the city and Mecca and the NCAA, but we just keep the thing moving. Our team in Indianapolis also works on, they have 92 championships now. So that team that works on baseball also works on volleyball, ice hockey, Final Four. So we just keep the ball rolling. We keep the momentum going, and continue to grow this every year. So
don't think most people realize the impact the CWS has on Omaha and the state of Nebraska. And you recently released a report that kind of outlined the latest impacts that the CWS has in terms of the work that you and your team do, the team you do every single year to put on this major event. Could you share a little bit more about the most recent report in terms of that impact?
Yeah, so we worked with Dr. Goss over at Creighton, who is a well-known economist, and the last time we had him do some work for us was in 2019, so pre-pandemic, and we were about at like 88.5 million impact then. This study that we did for 2025 was 147.6 million to the city, a little less to the state, and there's some reasoning there, but so it's a huge impact. About 70% of our visitors in 2025 were from outside of 60 miles, which kind of surprises some people.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we do also, and I have to give credit to the very large, you say you're a baseball dad, the youth tournaments that pop up around the College World Series. So there's two pretty big ones that have over 1,000 teams that come in and out of here. There are future fans. Yes. They come, they play during the day and come to the games at night. So pretty big impact. I think there's some numbers that were shocking to us about, with the promotional and like the advertising and all the stuff that the mentions of Omaha, from newspaper to social to just even the ESPN broadcast. How many times people said Omaha, how many times people said College World Series. So some of those numbers are pretty staggering.
For the Greater Omaha Chamber, like we focus a lot on what some of this impact may have on local businesses, particularly if you have 70% of your attendees are from outside of the region. How does the CWS, you think, impact small businesses, some of the restaurants, the hotels, those businesses that are in the downtown, midtown area that see a lot of the activity with this annual event?
I think it's huge, and I think what's been great about seeing the ballpark come to the North Downtown is seeing everything that has started to build up around it. We've had the mat with the Omaha Baseball Village there as like kind of an anchor for a very long time. Yeah, and that was like where you went, and now you have all these other things, and now we have like another sports bar opening, and Sonny's is going to have like a footprint downtown, similar to Exarban. So, and then in a couple of years in the millwork, we're going to have an LSU bar.
Wow. Okay.
So the things that continue to build down there, and then with the visitors and the kids that are, they're from Council Bluffs to Lincoln. Yeah. So with these families, with these youth players, so it's a huge impact. Our hotels are full. We have teams that come in, like last year UCLA came in and they were like, we don't want because we have a block for them, and they're like, we don't need our full block. And I was like, you better take it, because you're not going to be able to get any more rooms. And then later they needed more rooms. And it was like, so it's one of those things that we're battling is everybody wants to be downtown. Yeah. So, but I think you're pretty full and pretty busy citywide.
What makes Omaha the only place, you think, for the College World Series?
Oh my gosh, I think they built it from nothing. Like it was, some founding fathers. It was Omaha Municipal Stadium at the time. They were looking to bring in minor league baseball, but then they saw this happening down in Wichita, and they're like, why don't we take a shot at it? For 12 years, it was losing money, but just like Omaha does, businesses, the people, they just wrap their arms around it, and it's just a fantastic story. And so when we have other cities that want to emulate our model, it's really hard to there's not like a rule book to it, because it really is just how this city has supported it and continues to. I think when we run NCAA basketball, like first and second rounds here, and I'm talking because we're a small sports group, so usually everybody kind of lends a hand when these events come in. And when I'm talking to NCAA travel about our airport, they're like, we don't worry about you. We don't worry about, you guys got it. You can do this. And so that's a testament to so many people.
We've seen massive reinvestment in the urban core and downtown and midtown Omaha. Soon to have a modern streetcar that'll be available in a couple years for the CWS. How is that kind of community investment playing a role at all in terms of you and the work you and your team, that you do every day for the CWS, as well as maybe for the future for the CWS in terms of where you think that investment can help you and your team do some different things in the future?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, and it's something that we'll have to continue to do. I mean, we have the contract till 2036. Sooner than later, we'll start talking about what that looks like as an extension. And we're going to have to continue to show that we're bought in and that we're willing to do what it takes to keep this here, because sports tourism is huge.
Yes.
And there are cities that are willing to write checks. We saw that with swim trials a little bit. So we have to continue to keep the upward buy-in and momentum. I think we did about an $8 million technology upgrade to Charles Schwab Field in the off season. So new video boards, new lights that will really enhance the game presentation. Absolutely. That was part of, a combination of folks in how our contract is structured that was able to fund that. But yeah, we'll continue to look at those things and what else we need to do to keep this thing shining.
Well, Amy, look, thank you for spending some time with us in terms of our Inside Greater Omaha podcast. We're excited for you and your team in terms of this year's College World Series. We're excited for the whole Omaha community and the whole state to engage in this very special event. And we can't wait to see who's going to win this year.
Yeah.
So that being said, we want to thank you for joining us today. Amy Hornocker, the Executive Director of College World Series of Omaha, Inc., is our inaugural guest, and we look forward to seeing you on our next Inside Greater Omaha podcast.